Good morning, everybody. We're going to make a wreath using this candy cane. Kind of inspired over the wreath that I saw at Walmart yesterday. I have a couple of wreaths I want to make, and I have this owl. I don't know what I did with the rest of my owls I had, because everybody knows I love owls. And I had collected a few. And for some reason, I'm not knowing what I did with them. That's terrible. But I probably, when I was cleaning, put them away, and I'll have to dig them out. But this one was hanging on the wall to craft with. I don't like the glasses, so they're going to go, and I definitely need to take the feet off. You know, these usually just kind of come out. You just kind of twist and pull. And wow, these are like way up in there. So this is going to take me a minute. Good grief. It is just an owl, guys. That took a lot. This one just kind of broke off. So we're just going to bang that one back up into the owl. Or maybe not. We'll probably have to clip it off. Or maybe get a hold of it and pull it out. My goodness. I'm going to clip this off. Hold on. Okay, so I clipped it off and I shoved it way, way, way back up in there. You can't feel it or anything, so we're good to go. I am going to go ahead and clip all this plastic stuff off. We don't need the plastic. I'm going to leave the hanger on just for a little bit. I don't like these glasses. I don't know if they're going to come off. Yeah, I'm going to have to reach up underneath and clip all this off. I don't know, guys. Reach way up underneath the hat. Are they wire? Maybe wire. They're wire. Oh, they came out. Okay. And we're left with his little eyes. Are they on there good? No, they're not. We will glue them on a little better. So let me plug in my hot glue gun. Okay, so I've prepped my owl as far as I can take him. I do have to put the eyeball back on. It was just laying there. So he's ready. I'm going to leave the little tree on him. And then we'll reposition his eye as soon as my hot glue gun is hot. So we're going to set him aside for right now. We don't need those glasses. We don't need none of this. We're all done with it. And did I lose both eyes? No, I thought I set this aside. I must have dropped it. There we go. All right, we're going to take this off. Now, my candy canes are from last year. And what we're going to do is this simple little step of taking the Dollar Tree stuff, and I'm going to try to remember how I did this on my other wreath. I believe I just gathered and I'm trying to remember how I did this, guys. Because I am going to be needing to cover the end of this one. We're going to bring it from this end up through and gather this and tie it here. You can see I'm going to tie this fast, really snugly, because I don't want this to go anywhere, to this side piece. And I'm going to bend this down out of my way so it's underneath for right now. And then I'm going to take, and because I want to cover this, I'm going to come around, pull it under, pull it back up, and I'm going between each of these, and then I'm going to come back. I'm bringing that back up through into the middle one, and I'm going to shove it back down into the next one over. I actually should be coming from underneath with this, but I'm not. Going a different direction than I normally would be, but that's okay. And we're just going to keep going back and forth. But what I want to do is I want to stop here because I don't want these to leave this. I think I'm going to fasten this one also underneath right here. I don't want this to leave here. So I'm going to grab this middle one right here. I want to make this loop a little bigger. Any changes you need to make before you're ready to fasten anything down. I want to make sure that this stays at this very end nice and tight. So we're going to scoot it all down. I'm going to get this, if I can get a hold of my end, and I'm literally going to bring it around this very end and fasten it. We're going to bring this end one back down. Because it's sliding off on me, I'm also going to try to make sure it stays put. We're going to just bring these wires in every direction to keep them from sliding up and down this bar. So that gets my first row to stay put. I'm going to go ahead and just keep pushing it down through. Let me get this piece out of my way. And yes, this Dollar Tree stuff is not the greatest. So you go down through, bring it up through the next one. Make a loop there, bring it up through the next one. You're just looping down through and up through the next one, which is over. And we're just going back and forth, almost kind of like lacing a shoe. But you're working yourself back and forth. And I will link the video where I did my other one so it will make a little more sense of what I'm doing. And we're going to bring it up over here And you're just going to go back and forth. Pulling up little pieces. Get them out of my way. Pull up a piece here. Come over here. Pull up. We will spread these all out towards the end. And when you get to a crossbar, you're going to want to push down, and you're going to want to come up under that crossbar. And when you do, this is where you're going to want to tie off with another one of these. Some people call them chenilles. Some people just call them what they are. Pipe cleaners. I'm using white. And I'm only going to tie off the one that I'm not going to keep going with. The one that's going to the next one, I'm going to leave loose. So I'm going to get a hold of this. Coming up, over, I'm going to cross over both bars. So I'm making a big hug around everything. Coming back down underneath. And I'm going to go tight. I'm going to press that down out of my way. And then I'm going to continue making my bow. Come on over. And oh, this stuff grabs itself so bad. And I may have wrapped the wrong one. Hold on. I have no idea how I did it, but I managed to double up what was wrapped. I don't know how I did it. That was literally insane. See how this is doubled? I don't know if I did it or if it was the actual ribbon was doubled through there. But I fixed it and I'm moving on. And I'll bring you back when I'm at the end. Okay, I'm opening a second roll and I'm literally laying one on top of the other, the new one on top of the old one. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of couple them together and group them in. I'm going to actually work these so that I have, I want to tie them off. I don't want to have all this where I've grouped them together on top of a loop. So what I'm going to do is probably cut off some excess. So what I'm going to do is pull them together, and I'm going to get it up where I need it. I'm going to trim these edges so they look a little neater. Get rid of all the garbage. And I'm going to fasten this with another tie right here. Pulling this all down underneath. And pulling this snug and twisting. Now I'll pull this down out of the way. All the excess from the other roll, I'm going to trim this back and get that out of my way. And then go ahead with bringing it up into my next loop and continue. Now, because this is a candy cane and this does have a curve, I'm not going to be going all the way across on every row. I will start by just doing back and forth on the 2 outer rows and then doing all 3, then going back to just the 2 outer rolls around the curve so that there's not a bunched up of the inside row. Okay, I'm going to tie this off. I'm at the end and I've cut 3 little lengths, and I am literally going to take and just reach up underneath, grab a hold of all of this because this is the end I'm going to cut. I want to make sure I have a hold of that. And I'm going to wrap around. I've got a hold of the loop I've made. I've come through the wire on 2 spots and around the piece that I'm going to cut off. I'm going to twist this really tightly. I'm going to bend it up under. I'm going to cut off the piece. Now I've used about 2.5 rolls of the Dollar Tree stuff. I'm also going to grab hold of the inside of this loop on this inside ring, and I want to make sure it's going to stay put. And I'm going to also do the same there, and then fold that up. And then the last loop that I made here, and I know some are like perfectionists, oh, they have to be the exact same size. I found I like mine better if they're a little bit different. They just seem to fill out, I don't know, nicely. And this is all nice and fluffed out. We're going to look and see, fluff out all these that are like, see how this is like entwined inside of itself. Fluff them out. You can shove this all down around, push it around. Pull these all apart. Open all of these up. Now, we're going to go ahead and put the eyeball back on the owl, and we're probably going to, I don't know, he's on there pretty good. I couldn't pull him off. We're going to put a dab of glue. Stick his eye back on. Now, We're going to use the string that came with him, and we're going to use this, and then we're going to actually cut off the excess because we need to reach through here to fasten him on. We're just going to find a hole, and I don't want it on the outside. I want it on the like the middle. So we're just going to stick my finger through, find where this is, poke it through, and then we're going to find the bottom half of where my finger is on this here, pull that all through, and pull my owl snug. I know you couldn't see what I was doing. It's kind of awkward to do this. And I'm going to give it a twist and see how we look. I like how he's hanging. Like how he's hanging there. Because I can move him a little bit if I have to. And I'm going to go ahead and tighten him down. Now I'm going to go through and nip off all these excess pieces. And I might actually come down and wrap around an extra piece of wire just to make sure he stays. Nip all these extra long pieces off. Now I am adding some silver ribbon to hang this with, and a lot of people are like, oh, I hang it and it tips. Well, you don't want to have just to one wire. You want to go all the way through the entire frame of, especially the candy canes. So I'm going to just make a basic hanger. I'm going to knot this because you're not going to really see this part. We're just going to make sure this is not going to come undone. Pull on it tightly. We're going to tuck this up. I'm going to trim that tail off short, but not too short. This is going to give this a nice hanger to hang from, and he will hang without tipping forward. So there is the owl. Isn't he cute? I'm going to do another one that is going to be a deer, so watch for that one next. Thanks, guys.